Before I begin this video, I'd like to make a few things clear. This video was made as part of an entire series dedicated to defending Hazbin Hotel, but the scope of the series quickly spiraled out of my control and it got cancelled. This video was meant to introduce viewers to the core concepts of the show and have a little fun responding as well. But now that its context is gone, the response element kinda sucks on its own. I was too far along in the project to cancel it and I want to upload something, so here you go. Speaking of things spiraling out of my control, I'd say again that the editing is an homage to Implement, but his edits aren't just glorified slideshows, and I'm mainly doing this because it saves time. I also just want to upload something. My edits will change in the very near future. Also, for some reason, my pop filter just doesn't filter pops. I'm genuinely surprised I was able to pull this video off. I noticed some large editing mistakes while exporting, but that would take about 3 hours to fix. I hope they don't detract from your enjoyment. I find this video to be a real turning point for the channel. It's the end of 2-month hiatuses between each upload. So how did we get here? Oh no, your friend is uploading a 5-hour video and she wants you to proof watch it. Time to essentially write a response to a 5-fucking-hour video. I'm sure that won't take up any time. But oh no, you got into some Twitter beef where your self-righteous opponents are spewing logical fallacies like no tomorrow. Time to spend a week on the script until you realize how petty this shit is. But oh no, Jay stole your video, you gotta get her back. How about you spend 4 days editing it until the project file mysteriously disappears? But you need to uphold your deal with Jay. How about you make a video on Bitch Got a Penis? How about you defend it, right? Well, how about while you're editing, you find the one YFM video that isn't on their channel that literally makes your entire thesis fall on its fucking face. And I'm sure video production is just peachy keen while you're doing this and constant non-stop research for your long video. I'm sure it's fucking easy, so Hazbin Hotel. Besides the audio, the biggest downside of my video responding to the cute cat girl Neko Koda was the fact that I never really defined what the show was about. I said people hated it and went on with the response, and since this is going to be a series, I think it's important that people know what this series is about. Not only will I be responding to MatPat making a bogus theory about the show, I will also attempt to explain what the show is. MatPat is of course the guy known for making bogus theories about all kinds of media, and this one is no example. I like MatPat. It's a corporate channel, yes, but it does feel genuine, and I appreciate that. However, whether being genuine is good or bad depends entirely on the theory he's making. Everybody watching this has likely seen a MatPat video, but not everyone has seen Hazbin Hotel. So what is Hazbin Hotel? From what the show seems to be setting up, Hazbin Hotel is a show about 2 demons in hell, one of which is named Charlie. Charlie is the daughter of the biblical archangel Lucifer and the princess of hell. She runs a hotel that is specifically designed to rehabilitate demons and get them into heaven due to the fact that it is overpopulated and there are yearly purge events that kill large amounts of the population. In the edgy, crude world of hell, Charlie's optimistic idea is rejected by society, and she only has the help of her girlfriend Vaggie, Alistair the Radio Demon, and a few others. One of these others is the second demon, her test subject. Angel Dust is a well-known actor for the aptly named Porn Studios, where he gets presumably regularly abused. As such, he has used the hotel as a coping mechanism. While trying to balance his pornographic public persona, Angel is a deeply flawed character. Hazbin Hotel is the story of Angel Dust's character arc and his path to redemption. The only issue is that none of this has actually happened. The show aired its pilot in October 2019, and it was picked up in August 2020 by A24, and news has been radio silent since then. Now that we know the basics, we can get right into the theory, named There Is No Redemption. The title challenges the core premise of Hazbin Hotel. In order to properly structure both a rebuttal and an explanation of the core premise, we need to watch MatPat's video backwards. MatPat's thesis revolves around the fact that Charlie's Hotel can't save everyone due to the immense amount of sinners in hell. He uses this at the end of the video to reason that the show's hidden antagonists are the immediate murder professionals, although he calls them the Patrol. This is probably because he barely researched the show.
The real twist hiding at the end of both of these shows is that the immediate murder patrol, IMP, the organization that we follow in the sister show Hell of a Boss, is gonna be working directly against Charlie and her goal.
The IMP are the protagonists of Hazbin's sister show, Hell of a Boss. Hell of a Boss is set in the same universe as Hazbin Hotel. It focuses on three imps, Blitz, Moxie, his wife Millie, and their profession. They're paid hitmen who go up from hell to the living world to target specific individuals who wrong the client. MatPat comes to the conclusion that they're the villains solely based on a scene with Solace, a character who isn't actually named Solace, showing how much little effort was put into research.
The imp is powered by a grimoire that they stole from a demon named Solace. In his very first appearance, Solace asks the imp team to kill someone who's spreading the truth about global warming, hoping to increase that death rate we were talking about earlier.
He's trying to convince people global warming exists.
Doesn't it?
Well, yes, but more people die if nothing is done about it.
Solace is specifically trying to increase the population of souls despite already existing overcrowding. It's almost like the two shows are working directly against each other. One is about souls getting out of heck, the other is about souls getting in.
MatPat never explains what the IMP actually do. I actually agreed with this theory because the first half actually makes sense. If he had actually explained the basic plot of the sister show like I just did, you'd see the cracks. The IMP generally only kill on commission. They're not trying to increase the death rate.
I think you're missing the biggest issue, sir. Isn't it crucial to have a client who demands enough kills to win this bet? We aren't just going up to massacre.
There are even situations where the core cast is conflicted about who they want to kill. The first half of episode 1 sees Moxie conflicted about the idea of killing a family due to the fact that they are wholesome and happy.
But it's a family. Under what circumstances would we ever need to kill a human family? But to eradicate an entire innocent upper-middle-class family bloodline? But
guilty and innocent aren't our business, Mox. Killing who we're paid to is our business.
Just a happy mother who just got out of the hospital. Snooze you lose, Mox.
wait, are we actually killing a family?
No, don't be a puss.
But hold on. Let's just think about this.
What the fuck was that, Moxie?
I'm sorry. They just seem so wholesome and happy. Yeah, give me a moment. I need to get something I left at the house.
What are you gonna do, little guy? Kill us?
I should. You people are monsters. But you should have a chance at a life and a purpose. Look at your children. They have their whole future ahead of them. You are going to face your crimes justly. I will call your earthly authorities, and they will make sure you are dealt with fairly.
Another mission accomplished, and Moxie finally learned not to fuck up.
And killing people isn't that big a deal if they try to kill you back.
That's messed up. But I paid for it.
Fuck that family.
Perfectly understandable for you to miss MatPat. It's not like it's the main subplot of the first episode. Moxie does not want to kill innocents. Millie is indifferent to it all, but ultimately wishes for her husband's happiness, and Blitz cares about the business. They're not trying to increase the death rate, as this omission of information is trying to make it seem. Stolas isn't even explicitly asking them, but rather talking about his issues to Blitz.
What can I do you for this time, Stolas?
There's a political candidate causing trouble up on Earth. He's trying to convince people global warming exists.
Doesn't it?
Yes, but more people die if nothing is done about it. It gets lonely here. When I'm lonely, I become hungry. And when I become hungry, I want to choke on that red of yours.
No matter how you slice it, IMP is not the villain, but rather Stolas. While who the perpetrator is doesn't affect its point, it illustrates that MatPat put no thought into the research portion. But here we are. Stolas is directly attempting to hinder Charlie's motivation. But is that really the case? No. No music. Around 7 minutes into the 17-minute video, MatPat finally starts gathering evidence. I would summarize it, but it's MatPat. There are so many jokes to make here.
So how many souls is Charlie gonna have to redeem each year to keep the population of the necropolis from swelling too high? Well, funny enough, the problem is a bit simpler than it might first appear. We only need to be focused on the rate of new souls entering their unhappy afterlives. The rate of souls going into the afterlife is starting to stabilize. Humanity's growth rate is slowing. And for more on why that's happening, you can actually check out our classic episode about why Thanos' plan in Infinity War isn't as crazy as it might initially sound.
Oh, damn. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Downward spiral!
In fact, it's thought that the death rate actually bottomed out in 2018. 2018's global death rate was 7.546 deaths for every 1,000 people. 57.2 million people died in that single year. But of course, not all of those people are going down below, if you know what I mean. Only the sinners are.
Oh my god. MatPat, no!
One way to solve our problem would be to take that group of 57 million deaths and figure out what percent of them have engaged in one or multiple of the damning activities that we see happening in and around Pentagram City.
Holy fuck. MatPat, what happened to you?
And when I say they're using the stuff, I mean that they're using the hard stuff. The stuff I can't say on YouTube for fear of this video getting even more risk of demonetization than it already has.
Pause. This looks like something that would get its comments removed because it's for children.
40%.
That's fucking based, man. Bigotry is okay when it's directed towards minorities I don't like.
13%.
MatPat.
Maybe the difference between heaven and heck is like those stupid reviews that you have to do at your job. A self-review.
It's at this point that MatPat just sorta goes off the rails. He thinks that someone reviewing themselves constitutes whether or not they're going to hell. I'm sorry. Are you,
Hold on, though. What about friends rating their friends?
Stop.
In short, any way you're calculating this, there is no way that Charlie's Hotel accomplishes its true mission in under 14 million souls. Oh sure, she can save a few wayward souls here and a few demons there, but if she's truly looking to break even, 14 million is the minimal calculation based on all the different methods that we just tried.
So now we have an understanding of how MatPat reaches his conclusion. Charlie's Hotel statistically cannot save everyone, but would it feasibly ever have to do that? Despite Charlie being the princess and third most powerful entity in hell, nobody really takes her seriously. She's naive, she's bubbly, she's over-accepting. It's the antithesis of the society of hell. After the opening title, the first thing the audience sees is someone mercilessly run over by a car. The news the demons consume is a chaotic mess with a violent anchor. The news is how we get our introduction to Charlie as she announces her hotel. She starts off with an inspirational speech and goes on to full-on song about how amazing seeking redemption is. Afterwards, she's laughed at by her own society. I want to analyze explicitly what Katie Killjoy says.
What in the 9 circles makes you think a single denizen of hell would give 2 shits about becoming a better person? You have no proof that this little experiment even works. You want people to be good? Just because?
Only one of her lines questions whether or not something like this is possible. Every other line she says boils down to a question. Why would somebody from hell do this at all? Charlie is genuinely naive at a society composed of entirely terrible people would just flip on a whim. This isn't exactly Steven Universe.
Blair, there are several false statements regarding this Jabbit Change Your Mind, the greatest episode of Steven Universe, and yes, Blair, you can defend it. First of all, it is clearly showcased in Steven Universe future in no cartoon sheet. It is not a writing failure that there are several gems who still stick to the old ways of homeworld. They are not all changing instantly. I can't believe you would spread more misinformation about this show. I hate you and all Steven Universe critics alike. The only good one is Supersonic 10.
You see, it's funny because Cartoons Exist has made a genuine good faith effort to rebut criticism that the show receives instead of acting completely toxic. He also has been quite sobering because I've had to sift through Supersonic 1014's terrible videos for my video on him, and talking to Cartoons Exist has been refreshing. There are 96 of these videos, and I chickened out around 30. I hope you enjoy my full documentation of the controversy when it's done in July, and hopefully I hope you give Cartoon Sexist all the support he he deserves. Hell is a place where terrible people can go and continue their terrible actions free from any type of consequence aside from an annual purge. Why would they want to change to hinder overpopulation and help others when they've been perfectly fine and able to survive the purge for however long it's been occurring? Looking back on it all, Nekokoto is right about Charlie's goal being near impossible, although it's not a writing flaw. MatPat's video ultimately focuses on a hypothetical scenario where every demon in hell wants to go to Charlie's hotel, but it just doesn't work that way. That will never happen due to the nature of society and the people who end up in hell. The math is correct, the hotel will never work at full capacity, but it never would unless Viv is a hack writer. And while Hell to a Boss is filled with writing issues that deserve their own video, these issues generally revolve around its episodic structure, whereas Hazbin Hotel is a more serialized show. So this is MatPat's entire theory, but it's not the whole video, because the first 4 minutes of the video possess some of the most genuinely insane and poorly thought out content that MatPat has ever written.
I'm an idiot! Hey, shh! You're making us miss the contest!
After a fight at the news station caused by the test subject, Angel Dust, being exposed for being uncooperative, Charlie's girlfriend Vaggie and Angel bicker while in the car to the hotel. Charlie is defeated. Her hotel is a complete joke to society, and she's worried that she will never make a difference. Enter Alistair, someone with clearly ulterior motives and a flair for the dramatic. It's these two things that lead to Alistair fixing up the hotel for its goal for the rest of the episode.
So, what does all this have to do with
MatPat? Well, MatPat comes to the conclusion that
my mini theory is that Alistair the Radio Demon gets his powers from none other than Gravity Falls' own Bill Cipher.
As if the downward spiral couldn't get low enough.
MatPat comes to the conclusion that Alistair gets his powers from Bill Cipher from the most surface level comparisons. He knows it isn't true, but it's still a complete mess. This is literally some Kimba Simba type bullshit to the point where I can replace the audio with that Kimba song and everyone will completely understand how absurd these comparisons are. After that, he makes a more in-depth but equally absurd comparison. You know how Alistair is a guy who sounds like a 30s radio host? You know who sings a song that was on the radio in the 1930s?
Alistair's voice in Hazbin Hotel sounds like an old-timey radio, which is cool, it's very creative characterization, but it also just feels random. Too random. They even show an example of the types of radios that he broadcasts on, and they're the type that are pulled straight out of the late 30s and early 40s. Now, why would I care about that? Well, Bill Cipher is most closely associated with one particular song, We'll Meet Again, a love song that was made popular by the singer Vera Lynn. It's a great song, all-time classic. But why I bring it up here is that it was first made famous during World War II, which, wouldn't you know it, just so happened to be during the late 30s and early 40s, the exact time that Alistair's voice is drawn from. The timeline matches up. So could it be that the reason Alistair is so powerful when he first enters the underworld is that he has the powers of Bill Cipher on his side?
The problem is this isn't a joke. MatPat genuinely believes Viv might have gotten inspiration from Bill.
Probably just inspiration the creator of the series got from Gravity Falls.
Like, this is the biggest fucking stretch. This theory is so bad. The fucking creators of the show are laughing their ass off at how stupid this theory is. They're laughing with you, but good fucking god, this is the bottom of the barrel. Alright, so my conclusion is kind of a bust because this video's plans changed, so all I have to say is read Droid's webcomic. There's 2 new chapters out because this took so long to make, and please subscribe. I don't like begging people to subscribe, but I really want you to see my 2.5 hour long documentary on Supersonic 1014, and I'll do one more video before that. It's about change your mind again.